Hi guys, and welcome back to Katie Cooked What. Today I'm going to show you how to make this delicious zucchini bread. It tastes like the best, most moist chocolate cake I've ever had. I would never believe it's zucchini bread. It's so good. And while I have tweaked the recipe and changed a lot of the quantities of things, I wanted to include this blog, Chocolate Covered Katie, because that is where I got the original base recipe for this. And of course, credit where credit is due. So I'll have her blog linked in the description if you guys want to go and check that out. Alright, so for ingredients, you're going to want canola oil, baking powder, baking soda, sugar, cocoa powder, chocolate chips. These ones are the PC, the Decadent, I can't remember which one, but they are vegan, so that's awesome. Some all-purpose flour. I have 2 zucchinis, but I only ended up using 1. And then I have vanilla extract, some coconut yogurt, and salt. And then these are the quantities of ingredients that I use when I make it. I put ish for the zucchini just because I typically honestly just grate up 1 zucchini, but I measured it out this time and it was 1.5 cups, but I find the zucchinis are typically the same size, so I would just do that. But if you want a specific measurement, 1.5 cups, and then yeah, I just included this if you guys wanted to screenshot it so it's easier to follow along if you're making it at home. And honestly, this recipe is super self-explanatory. You're really just putting the quantities of ingredients that you want into a bowl, mixing it together, and that's really all that there is to it. So here I'm just combining all of my dry ingredients. So I have the flour, cocoa powder, baking soda, salt, and sugar, and I'm just gonna mix all that together. Then I moved on to grating up my zucchini. So like I said, I typically just grate 1 zucchini. I did measure it out for this recipe just because I don't usually, but I thought people might want specific measurements. It is 1.5 cups, a little bit more than that, but it's super flexible. I've used more than this, I've used less than this, and I find it works well either way. So like I said, I would just grate 1 zucchini and call it good, unless it's like a massive zucchini or something, but you're probably good to just grate 1 and throw it in. Then you can go ahead and add your zucchini into the dry ingredients bowl. I'm also going to add in the coconut yogurt. You can use regular yogurt if you want, even sour cream would be fine, but I like using vegan yogurt just because it keeps the recipe vegan. And yeah, so 3/4 cup of yogurt. And then 1/4 cup of oil. I'm using canola. And then approximately a tablespoon of vanilla extract. I don't typically measure mine, I just pour a little bit in, but I would say around a tablespoon, and I also totally forgot to include that on the ingredients. So yeah, there is vanilla extract in this. And then just mix everything up until it's well combined and looks something like this. I'm adding 1/3 cup of chocolate chips. You can add more if you want to, but I find 1/3 cup is plenty. I do add some extras on top of the loaf at the end. And then I'm also doing 1/3 cup approximately of crushed walnuts. Mixing everything in. And then I'm just using a standard loaf pan to bake this in, and I just wanted to prepare it a little bit to make the bread easier to pull out at the end. So I just have a piece of paper towel here and some margarine or butter, and I'm just going to wipe that around the pan. Like I said, this just makes it easier to get the bread out once you've baked it. It's not totally necessary, but I always like to do these things because it sucks to find out you've baked something and you can't get it out. And then just filling up the pan with all of your batter. This recipe, everything should fit into 1 loaf pan. And then I'm just spreading that out, of course, so that everything cooks evenly. And I'm adding some chocolate chips on top, and I'm also going to add some walnuts on top. This is, again, totally optional, but I think it makes the loaf look a little bit nicer and just adds a little bit of extra nuts and chocolate to the recipe. And then once it's out of the oven, this is what you should be left with. It looks so good. This is seriously, like, this tastes like the best chocolate cake I have ever had, and it's freaking zucchini bread. It's awesome. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this recipe. Let me know if you make it at home. Again, that blog will be linked in the description of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.